Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to upgrade your Toyota Tacoma 2.0 head unit to the new 3.0 head unit that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So I spent months trying to figure out what was going to be the best solution to get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in my truck. Now there's a lot of solutions out there, but I wanted something that was cost effective, easy, and retained all of my factory controls. And the best way to do that I think is to basically upgrade to the new 3.0 head unit. And mine has the JBL package, so that made it a little bit more complex than if you didn't have it. It's just a couple extra steps to make that conversion. So what you're going to need for this conversion is 4 things. First, you're going to need a new 3.0 head unit. This could either be, if you have the JBL, you're going to need a new JBL head unit. And if you don't have it, then you won't need the JBL head unit. The next thing you're going to need is the amp. If you have the JBL unit, you're going to need a 2020 or newer year amp. This is the factory amp located in the back of the truck, and I'll show you where that is later in the video. But you're going to need to replace that. And then the 2 other things that you're going to need is a new wiring harness that goes in the dash here that converts the old 2.0 wiring to the 3.0 head unit. And then you're going to need 1 adapter that goes in the back for the amp. So those 4 things. So another goal of mine was to stay below $1,000. Because anything more than that, I just couldn't justify spending that amount of money and still having a factory head unit. If I spent more than that, I felt like I had to get, you know, a really nice head unit and new speakers and subwoofers, and I probably could have done that anything more than $1,000. So my goal was to stay under $1,000, and I was able to do that. Okay, so for reference, here's the old head unit. This came out of my 2018 Tacoma. This was the JBL version. It has a 7-inch display, CD player, it had navigation, XM radio, all of that. And here is the new 3.0 head unit. You get an 8-inch display from corner to corner here, so you get an extra inch of display. You have some touch buttons here, which are nice, little smaller knobs here. But mainly it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is what I wanted. So I purchased this off of eBay for $600. I had to wait a little bit to find a good price. $600 was on the low end at the time of buying this, so I felt like I got a good deal on it. You just gotta keep your eye out and make sure you find a good deal. So in total, this install only took me about 2 hours. It's all plug and play, which is exactly what I wanted. And I was able to stay under $1,000 because I got some really good deals on eBay, and all of the old equipment that I took out, I'm gonna resell it, so I'll get some of that money back. All right, well, I think that's enough talking. Let's get into the install. Cheers. Okay, first thing you're gonna wanna do is remove the bezel here. You can actually just grab on the side here and just give it a nice little tug. Comes off really easy, actually. Okay, and then you have these 10mm bolts right here. You got 4 of them. Okay, and then you're just going to pull it out like that and just start disconnecting everything. Okay, and there you have it. You can leave these connected. These just stay with the unit here, so you don't need to disconnect these. So you can leave it in like that, and that's the unit. It's pretty straightforward. These have brackets on here. If the one you purchased didn't come with brackets, you'll need to take these off and put on your new one. But the one I got off of eBay already had the brackets, so I'm just gonna leave these on. Okay, so here's the new unit I purchased off of eBay. This is the JBL 3.0 unit. It was used, came out of a wrecked Tacoma, but it was a lot cheaper than buying it brand new. So if you look on eBay, you can find them. They do pop up. You can get a pretty good deal if you wait. I think I purchased this one for $600, so I think that's a pretty good deal, and we'll go ahead and install it. So to do this conversion, you're going to need this harness here, this wiring harness. This is going to convert the 2.0 head unit to the 3.0, and I got this one off of eBay as well from a seller there. Shout out to them for hooking me up with this one. I'll put a link in the description. Another resource that I've seen is Auto Harness Warehouse or something like that. I'll also put a link in the description to their site. They have one as well. They were extremely helpful answering some of the questions that I had as well, so I'll put those links down there as well. But what you're going to do is you're going to use this harness, you're going to connect it here and then to the radio, and this is going to convert basically the wiring from the 2.0 to accept the 3.0. This should be fairly straightforward. It should be plug and play because these connectors here are all unique. So it should just be plug and play, and I just got to figure out the right connectors to go with the right slots here in the radio. Okay, I got those connected. There's just 4 here. And then we have the other ends here, which will connect back into the radio. Okay, so go ahead and grab your new unit here. Take it in the back here, and you're simply just going to match up all the plugs to where they fit. Everything is unique and should just be plug and play. Pretty simple here. Okay, so here's a closer look of all the connections. Everything is hooked up. We just have one left here, and this is for, I believe, for the USB. So it came with this cord here. We're just going to go ahead and plug that last piece in. Okay, now I'm just going to bolt it back up. Okay, so now that I got all the 4 bolts in, we can go ahead and put the bezel back on. This is pretty straightforward. All you're gonna do is just push it back into place here. Oops. Okay, and there you go. That's perfect. Okay, so now that we got the head unit installed, we can go ahead and install the new amp in the back, and I'll show you how to do that. And it doesn't matter which order you do it in. You can install the amp first or the head unit, it doesn't matter. But they both need to be in for the 3.0 head unit to work. And this is only if you have the JBL head unit, because the second part is just for the factory amp. And the head unit, the 3.0 head unit, needs to talk to the amp in the back here. And if you don't replace that, then it won't work. So if you don't have the JBL, you can just ignore this. You can actually just buy the head unit and the wiring harness and you're set, which makes it even easier and more justifiable to do it anyway. But if you do have the JBL package, you need to get the JBL head unit and replace the amp. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so to get to the amp, you're gonna move the 2 seats forward and then pull the back seat up. Then you're going to want to remove your headrests here and then lift up on this here, which will allow this back seat to come down. And pull this down. Going to do the same to this side. Okay, now you got this one off on this side, do the same here. So once you have the back seat down, next, what you're going to want to do is on the driver's side, there are 3 10mm screws here. You're going to unscrew those and pull this panel off. Then once you got the bolts removed, what you're going to do is you're going to grab up here, and there are 10 clips in here, and you're going to pull. And it is kind of challenging, and you might break some of the clips. So I recommend buying some clips just to have handy and to replace, because you might actually break some of the clips here. Okay, I got all the clips off. Pull this off here. Looks like there's some clips here. Looks like I may have broken that one, but it's okay. I got extras. So now if you come over to the passenger side, there is one 10mm bolt right there, which you'll unscrew. Okay, and then just like the driver's side, what you're going to do is you're going to just grab up here and pull it until it becomes free. Okay, so here it is. This is the amp, and that is the subwoofer. This is a 2018 model amp, and I found locally a 2021 model amp, and you have to have this one to be compatible with 3.0 Entune. So from years 2020 on forward, you have to have this amp to be compatible with Entune 3.0. And you need this harness that I got from Auto Harness House, I believe is what it's called. They're extremely helpful. And this is basically gonna adapt one of the connectors here to fit the 2021. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this and install this here. Okay, so I've installed the new amp. This is the 2021 amp. This is the adapter wire here. Goes in this last plug, and I'm going to screw everything back in and put everything back together. Alright, so once you got the amp installed, you can go ahead and put the panels back on. I've already put this one back on. You're most definitely going to want to replace those clips. I know I had to. So make sure you go ahead and do that. And then there's just one bolt here, and then you got the 3 bolts over there for that panel. Okay, so now that you got these panels back on, you can put the seats back up. So thanks for watching, guys and gals. Hopefully this video was informational for you. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I do respond to them. And also I'll put all the links that I used in the description here so that you can follow along and do this if you want. I'm signing out for now. We'll catch you in the next video.